Every secret message the Nazis sent during World War II passed through a machine. A marvel of engineering called Enigma. So complex, people believed it was unbreakable. Crack Enigma, and you wouldn't just read enemy mail. You'd read Hitler's mind. So, how was the impossible made possible at a quiet mansion in the English countryside? Bletchley Park, a name once spoken only in whispered rumors. A strange cast arrived there in 1939. Mathematicians, chess masters, crossword prodigies, linguists, even a former Broadway dancer. But one mind, Alan Turing, would become almost mythic. Let's rewind. Before Britain even declared war, Polish cryptologists had already spent years battling Enigma. With a stroke of genius, they built one of the world's first mechanical codebreakers, which they called a Bombe. Days before Poland fell, they smuggled their secret and their insights across the border to Britain. At Bletchley, Turing built on their work. He dreamt bigger. He built the Bombe, a midnight blue giant of clacking rotors and cables. On good days, Bletchley's codebreakers received piles of encrypted German messages. On bad days, they received nothing useful at all. Enigma had millions of possible combinations each day. Decrypting just one message by hand would take longer than the war itself. The secret weapon, pattern spotting and human error. German operators, pressed for time, often sent predictable phrases. Nothing to report, or reused weather reports. That gave the codebreakers cribs, little footholds to start cracking the code. Once they caught a crib, the bomb could try thousands of settings in minutes, a task a human brain could never manage. Night after night, Alan Turing haunted the bomb rooms, code askew, pacing, dreaming up shortcuts and strategies. It wasn't just machines. Women made up 3/4 of the staff. They ran the bomb operations and briskly sorted, cross-checked, typed, and filed. The famous Wrens, members of the Women's Royal Naval Service, kept the show running. By 1941, Bletchley had succeeded. They could read German naval Enigma, but how to use it without alerting the Nazis? In the icy Atlantic, convoys of food and weapons sailed to Britain. German U-boats hunted them relentlessly. But now, Bletchley could sometimes pinpoint when a Wolfpack attack was coming. Think of the odds. A single intercepted Enigma message might save a convoy of 100 ships, or, if missed, doom thousands. Winston Churchill called the Bletchley crew the geese that laid the golden eggs and never cackled. He knew secrets win wars. Turing's brilliance didn't just save ships. It may have saved millions. Some historians estimate breaking Enigma shortened the war by at least 2 years. But there was a cost. No one at Bletchley Park could breathe a word of what they'd done, not even to family. For decades after the war, their feat was classified. Alan Turing himself was never properly recognized in his lifetime. The codebreakers melted back into ordinary lives. School teachers, librarians, silent heroes. Only in the 1970s did the world begin to discover the story of Bletchley Park. The legacy lives on inside every computer. The bomb wasn't just a code-breaking machine. It was a proto-computer, a first step toward the digital age. Imagine a war won not with gunfire, but with logic, teamwork, and the relentless beat of human curiosity. The real secret weapon wasn't the machine, or even Alan Turing. It was the belief that no secret is truly unbreakable. If you could travel back in time and stand amid the rows of clattering bombs, you'd hear the war being fought, not with explosions, but with precision and patience. And in the quiet, after the machines stopped, a new world was waiting to be decoded. What other secrets still wait, unread in history's hidden files? Stay curious. The next chapter in the shadows of World War II is just around the corner.